What's up, everybody? We are back beyond the gates. I enjoyed this episode. Listen, Martin, I've been liking him the last couple episodes, but this episode he turned back into an ass. Like, I'm not gonna discredit his concerns about his daughter being in modeling. I think he has some valid concerns. I'm not gonna say he don't. It's just the way he's saying things, the way he's going about it. Like, he's acting like a total ass, you know. And this is the exact reason why Samantha and Tyrell talk to Smitty more than they talk to Martin. Because even Samantha feels like they got to walk around on eggshells around Martin. Like, they can't be open and honest with him like that because he shuts everything down. He doesn't take time to really consider what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Anytime they come up to him and ask something, it's always a no. It's an immediate no. With Smitty, he listens to them. He tries to understand their point of view. He asks questions to try to understand. And he tries to come up with compromises. You know, he tries to be reasonable. It's not just always no. You know, and for Martin to sit there and say that Smitty being naive, he's not being naive. Smitty is the only freaking parent that actually, out of the two, that understands those kids. Like, Smitty actually listens to them. He knows them like the back of his hand because he spends the most time with them. You know, Smitty has concerns about her being a model too. Of course he has concerns. You know, and I can't stand how Smitty tried to sit there and downplay Martin's behavior. You know, he tried to sit there and rationalize Martin's behavior to the kids. Like, no, talking about, oh, he gonna come around. Look at me. He came around. He didn't want me to go back to work, but he came around to it. Smitty, no, he didn't. No, he did not. That man tried to talk to people behind your back and tell them basically that you weren't interested in the job. And that's him coming around. No. No. He tried to dictate Smitty life. Still does. Like, Smitty need to stop that. Because no. That man's a sanctimonious ass. He lives like it's 1952. Like, sir, it is the 21st century. It is 2025. Step into this generation, please, and stop with the foolishness. You know, and for him to sit there and tell her, oh, I'm not going to let you throw away your future on a childish whim. So being a model is childish, but your aunt did it. You know what I'm saying? Your aunt did it. Your cousin did it. But it's childish. Come on now. And they were successful at it. So you think your daughter can't? Like I said, I get where he coming from. Because there's a lot of freaks and weirdos in these types of industries. You know, the modeling industry, the entertainment industry. It's a lot of weirdos. It is. It is. But at least the girl came up with a plan, though. She got Chelsea to manage her, and Chelsea is one of the perfect people to manage because she even told her the pitfalls of the business. You know, she told her, like, listen, it's a lot of stuff that goes on in this industry. And she even told her, like, listen, you got to keep your grades up. You cannot quit school. You know, you got to do a proper diet. Like, she's there to help her. And even Smitty told Martin, like, we could make it a condition that she has to keep her grades up in order to do modeling. And she's only going to do modeling part-time. She's only going to start out doing it part-time. She's going to go to school. She's going to graduate. You know, and she was like, it could help with college applications as well. She got it figured out. So why not at least really take some time to think about it, talk to Chelsea, have a conversation with Chelsea about her managing her, and give it a try. Give it a go. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything don't need to be no. And the crazy thing is, Martin went and talked to Danny about it. And Danny even told him, like, yeah, there's a lot of, you know, difficulties in that industry, but it's also rewarding. It could also be great. He got to give her a chance. You know, he still came back and said, no, I don't want you doing it. Still said no. Still said no, an emphatic no. And Samantha was like, you know what? I'm going to do this shit regardless. She was like, I'm not letting nobody stop me. You know what I'm saying? She went right on upstairs and lied to Chelsea because Chelsea wasn't going to manage her unless her parents were on board with it. And she straight up lied to Chelsea and said, oh, my parents are good with it. See? You know, and Tyrell, I love the support that she get from Tyrell. Because Tyrell was like, look, I got your back. You know, I love how their sibling relationship, like, they got each other back. But you know I would have popped Tyrell upside his head, him laying on that bed with his boots on. That fool had shoes on it. I said, if you don't take them damn shoes off when you on that bed. That's a pet peeve of mine. I can't stand when people be on the bed, laying on their bed with shoes on. I'm like, if you don't take that shit off. I want to hit him. I was like, boy, you couldn't grow up in my house. Let you have some shoes on and you laying in the bed. You better take them shits off. But and this goes to show how Smitty knows them kids better than Martin does. Because Smitty warned Martin. He was like, listen, if you keep telling this girl no, she gonna start to rebel. And that's what she's doing. Because I'm not saying you can't rule your house with an iron fist. You can't be strict. You can't be this, that, and the other. I'm not saying that. Because I'm pretty sure Martin has her best interest at heart. Most parents do. But if you keep telling your kids no about everything without even considering what they're saying, thinking about it, if you keep doing that, that's when they start sneaking around. And that's what Samantha was trying to tell him. Samantha told him, you keep telling me no about everything. I can't date. I can't do modeling. I can't do anything. And she said, look at my grades. She said, I'm good in school. I don't give you any trouble. And yet you still tell me no. She got a point. She got a point. She got a valid point. I mean, I know he the parent, she the child, but still, it's like, damn, you doing too many no's for a good kid. Like, damn, can she have some ice cream after dinner? No. Like, damn, loosen up. Like, come on now. And he wants to sit here and call Smitty naive. Smitty not naive. Smitty being realistic. Like, he knows these kids. And he know that they got good kids. You got to at least think about it, at the very least. It's like, damn, Martin. He be doing too much. So anyway, moving on from that. That Hannah lady. Now, she knows she wasn't right. Gonna sit there and fire Danny from the board of the charity organization, First Gen. I said, now, how you gonna fire her over the wedding incident? I'm like, are you serious? That wedding was weeks ago, probably a month ago. And I'm like, you just now gonna terminate her from the board? And they thought they was slick, too. They thought they was slick because, and Danny peeped game, that they used her. They used her to do this last fashion show, this last charity fashion show to raise them a bunch of money and use her connections and dumped her right afterwards. She peeped their game. And that was foul. That was really, really foul of that lady to do that. Like, I felt bad for Danny. But you know Anita wasn't having it. Anita picked up that phone so fast, she said, no, I'm going to get you back on that board. And I respected. Danny was like, no, Danny said, don't even do it. Because she said, I don't even want to be on a board with people who going to treat me like that. And I totally agree. I agree. She don't need them. She surely don't. Shit, she got the power and the connections. She made them money. They need her. She don't need them. I would have left it alone too. But you know Anita. Anita wasn't letting that go. Anita was like, oh, hell nah. Because Anita came home pissed and told Vernon what happened. Oh, they wasn't here for it. And you know this trick, Hannah, had a nerve to come over to the Dupree mansion and ask Vernon for some help. Oh, I need your help. Anita said, absolutely not. Anita said, no, we ain't helping you. And mind you, what pissed me off was that this lady kept trying to talk to Vernon. I peeped that shit. She kept trying to direct her conversation to Vernon and not Anita. She even kept looking at Vernon and saying, oh, Vernon. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You are talking to Anita now. You're not talking to Vernon. And I love how Anita kept directing her back to her. You know, back to Anita. Like, you know how somebody keep looking over here at the next person, but you got to look over here. Look at me. Don't look at him. You know what I'm saying? That's how Anita kept doing her. Like, no. I'm running the show now. Not him. And I love how Vernon just sat back and backed his wife up. He let his wife handle that. And I love how Anita gave it to her. She was like, absolutely not. She said, we're not helping you. Like, how the hell you gonna sit there, kick her daughter off the board and have the audacity? I'm telling you, so many people on the show ain't got nothing but audacity. Got the audacity to come up in their house and ask them people for help. Anita gave it to her raw. She said, no, because you was foul in what you did. Because let's be for real. Anita, Danny, and Vernon, they not tripping about Danny being kicked off the board. It's not even really about that. It's about the way it was done. Because I feel like had Hannah and the rest of the board members kicked Danny off the board the next day after that whole wedding incident, that would have been understood. You know what I'm saying? That would have been understood. Like, because they get it. There's a morality clause in her contract for her to be a board member. That would have been cool. It's the simple fact that you waited all this time. You sat here and made her work hard to get this charity fashion show off the ground, make some money, use her contacts. Y'all let her do all that heavy lifting. And once y'all got y'all money, now you want to fire her? That's where the problem was. And that's what didn't sit well with Anita, because Anita wasn't having it. She said, absolutely not. We're not helping you. And she told her, she said, since you did that bullshit, she was like, we basically going to get rid of you. We going to shut that damn organization down. She said it's no longer going to be under our umbrella. And she was like, we're actually going to create a whole new foundation. Because the lady was like, oh, that's going to, shortchange the kids and stuff. That's going to mess their scholarships up. Anita said, no, we're going to create a new foundation that's going to help those kids. A similar foundation. So that means that, the first gen foundation would basically become unnecessary. And Anita was like, shit, we gonna make Danny the chairperson of the foundation. And when you need a job, you could talk to her about that. Maybe she'll be more forgiving than we are. Maybe she will show you more mercy than I would. I said, I know that shit right, Anita. That's how you do that. That's how you pull a boss move. She played chess with that hoe. She sure did. That hoe over here trying to play Uno. No, she played chess with your ass. She got her together. And I love how Vernon just sat there with a smirk on his face and backed her up. I said, that's how we do things. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got time to play with people. The hell wrong with you? Got the nerve to come up in them people I was asking for help. You better get the hell on somewhere. So anyway, Bill and Haley. Lord have mercy. They gonna sit here and go to the club or whatever. Like, Bill is demanding respect for this chick. Talking about, oh, you deserve respect. I'm sorry, but what has Haley done to deserve any type of respect from anybody? What has she done? So they go to the club. She don't want to show no type of PDA or whatever. I'm like, ma'am, go on somewhere. And they gonna sit close to Danny table or whatever, not too far from Danny table. And they watched her get kicked off the board. And they sitting there smirking and smiling about it and stuff like that. Just having a ball at her expense. Just laughing and kikiing. And they got the nerve to walk up to her and basically taunt her and gloat. Because Bill want to sit there talking about, oh, I know how much your little social activities meant to you. Little social activities. First of all, her sitting on the board of several organizations, that's not a small thing. That's how you gain your power. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand that about socialites. How you think they gain their position? Because they work hard in the career field that they're in. They hold board seats on multiple organizations' boards. That's how you gain your status. You write checks to these organizations, all that type of stuff. That's how you become the shit. That's a few ways to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gain that power. They don't understand that. That's why, Anita and all them, they ain't sweating it. Yeah, they were pissed. But at the end of the day, Haley wants to sit there, oh, we got a lot in common. And I'm glad Danny told her, you ain't got a damn thing in common with me. She was like, because at the end of the day, this was a minor setback. But what my thing was, Danny was like, oh, I'll return back to the top. Danny never fell off the top. She never fell from the top. Because mind you, even Anita pointed that out. She sits on the board of several organizations. That's just one organization that fired her. She's still on the board of several. So that's nothing. She's still on top. She got way more than Haley got. Haley has nothing. Without Bill, Haley has nothing. Haley sitting over there trying to gloat and stuff like that, talking about, oh, you hold on to the Dupree privilege. You like to lord that over people. Haley, you can't even order a Caesar salad without Bill. Like, the waiter at the restaurant, he was so rude to her. Like, this man wouldn't even acknowledge Haley. He kept talking to Bill. Like, he took Bill's order. He wouldn't even take Haley's order. Like, Haley was like, oh, like, he wouldn't even stand there and wait for her to talk. He walked away. Bill had to order her food. And yet Bill act like he got just as much power and clout as Danny do. Fool, you had to order lunch for your wife. How much power do you think you have? Like, yeah, they respect Bill, but at the end of the day, you ain't got the power that the Duprees have. You think any waiter at that country club would disrespect the Dupree like that? Hell no. Hell no. They would have been fired before they even walked away from that table. They probably would have never worked ever again. Bill ain't got the power he think he do. Like, him and Haley want to sit there and gloat. Ain't nothing for y'all dumbasses to gloat about. Ain't nothing for you to gloat about, fool. Like, your wife can't even get a salad without your help. And you gonna sit there and try to gloat. And as soon as they saw, her getting kicked off the board, now Haley want to kiss all over Bill. And I'm like, girl, you don't go sit down with that mess. Go on somewhere with that foolishness. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought. And I will see you all later. Good night.